Now, coming up, there is an election on the way, and as I said at the top of the program, federal parliament's going to resume. First sitting of the year will be next week. Both parties clearly have the eye on the election. The Prime Minister is going to obviously be desperate to wrest back the narrative. I mean, it was a disastrous summer for him. As for Peter Dutton, who we were just talking about, they'll spend the sitting fortnight trying to land as many blows as possible, and I suspect security is going to be one of those blows. It's going to be extremely interesting. Joining me to explain how it all might play out, DPG Advisory Solutions founder and director, David Gazard. David, good to see you again. Let's start with the summer break. It's been a summer from hell for Anthony Albanese, hasn't it?
Look, you would expect Anthony Albanese, and I think he tried really hard to sort of set a bit of a new narrative and reset the political agenda heading into 2025, an election year. We all know that. He burst out of the blocks early in January, so early that it sort of raised eyebrows across coalition strategists who, sort of want to honour the no politics zone while people are on the beach. But Anthony Albanese was keen to steal a bit of a march. It was interesting that Peter Dutton decided not to follow him. He just let him go on his own. And I think that sort of, says a lot, speaks volumes of where Peter Dutton sees Anthony Albanese managing to lose votes while he's out talking about issues that he doesn't really feel comfortable on, and one of them being security, obviously, something that continues to dog his campaign and take him off message while he tries to reset the agenda.
You and I have been around a long time. I don't ever recall a sitting Prime Minister, or indeed an opposition leader, using January to campaign.
Yeah, it was extraordinarily early, and it sort of showed, I think, how far behind he is in the polls. Don't forget that there's been a steady decline that really he's been unable to shake over the course of the last 18 months. So he's really in a race against time now. I think he's rolled the dice and hoped there's going to be an interest rate cut. Inflation is obviously falling, and he's banking on an interest rate cut doing what he hasn't been able to do over January and reset the agenda. Whether that's possible or not is a very live question for him, because the longer he goes, based on just the trajectory of the numbers for him, the more he falls in the polls. So he's sort of rolled all the dice hoping for an interest rate cut to do what he's been unable to do over the last 18 months.
You've covered you've been involved in a lot of campaigns. How do you get out and sell? I mean, say the Reserve Bank either on Tuesday week or even, next month says, OK, we're going to cut the interest rate by 0.25%. How do you get out and sell that as a massive plus when we've had 12 interest rate rises? I mean, I'm talking to someone with a mortgage today who said, well, how much is that going to mean to me? I mean, it's not a huge amount of money, and all the other prices keep going up. Plus, on top of that, we've still got the broken $275 electricity cut promise. I mean, how are they going to shape that message and believe that anyone's going to believe it?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. That's the challenge for him. You're sort of talking about $50 to $75 a week when the coalition is already out there poisoning the well by pointing out that, you're sort of $5,000 or $6,000 a month worse off. So you would want to see interest rates come down. Their message would be, we've delivered 2 surplus budgets, largely off the back of minerals resources and revenue they've received from the mining sector. But they've delivered 2 surplus budgets, and we've broken the back of inflation. Give us another go. Inflation's on its way down. We've just started the job. That would be their message. And I'm sure you'd see Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor continue with, look, you're $6,000 a month worse off or whatever it is. This is a drop in the bucket compared to where you are. And meanwhile, your energy prices are going up and the grid's unstable as a result. So, I think it is a challenge, no doubt. The late money too, in reading the press today from some well-informed RBA observers, is that the RBA may stand pat and not deliver a cut, looking for a lead out of the US. So that would be the worst of all worlds for the ALP. No rate cut and a continued slide in the polls.
Yeah, and they'd have to then bring down a budget. David Gazard, thanks for your time very much. We'll catch up with you shortly.